Hello art fans, Fred here with Artistry Unlocked. Alright, so before I get into my next project, I thought I would share with you a quick video, a little hack that I would do when I put my paints out on my palettes. And that is to overcome the problem some of us have when you open up a tube of paint. Here I've got some Winsor Newton, well these are oil paints. The reason why I'm showing you oils is because, and I work in acrylic and oils, but if you can notice here, I've got this paint that's just underneath the cap, and it gets all gross onto the tube. And it creates quite a mess. See this paint that gets stuck on there, and over time, you'll notice that you take a knife or something and you scrape. You have to clean it up over the garbage and get all that crusty stuff off, right? And it could be a mess, and what a pain sometimes. But to defeat that, I've done that too many times, but I thought, and you guys might already be doing this, I might be late to the party, who knows. So what I'm talking about is, after I use the tube of paint, I will back the paint back into the tube by squeezing the sides. So let's say, for example, I take my tube of paint, I put it out onto the palette, a nice, however much amount you put on there, and you've got your paint that's just kind of used in a little bit sticks out past the mouth of the tube. And I'm just going to squeeze this for demonstration purposes. I'm going to pretend that we've already squeezed this paint out on the palette. And I'm going to squeeze just a little bit so there's paint just barely at the top. I don't know if you can see that. But I will then later on press the sides of the tube and suck it back down like so. If you can see that. And while the paint is down inside the tube, I will just put the cap back on. And voila, it keeps it cleaner. At least I found that it does. So that's with the oils. Let me demonstrate that with acrylic. Here I've got a tube of permanent light green, golden paint colors. I'm going to squeeze a little bit. Again, just for demonstration. And let's say I went ahead and laid this color onto my palette. After you do that, your paint should look like this, just past the mouth of the tube here. If I could, right, that's typically how it would look. And now I just squeezed it out a little bit just so you could see in this demonstration. And I'm going to squeeze the sides of the tube here like this, and just draw it back in, like so. If you can focus, see that. And after it's down in the tube, I'll put the cap back on. Ha, got it. The genie's not going to be out of the bottle. We're all clean. So I've done this over the years, quite a number of times. In fact, here's a tube of cadmium yellow light that I use quite often. You can see the tube has been quite used. I've got this much remaining, and I've got this area there underneath the cap clean. And that way I could work without worrying about this mess that I have on my hands. But hey, if you guys, some artists like that kind of stuff, and if you're into that, more power to you. Hope you enjoy it. But anyways, this is a good hack that I found that helped me to keep my tubes really clean without having a mess on my hands, because I could make a mess really easy myself. Let me show you a watercolor tube. Well, I don't know if I need to demonstrate that anymore, but I was gonna show you in my little watercolor tube here. Do the same thing, but I think you get the picture. Now for a bonus hack, sometimes, well, the paint will get, if you get messy, such as this paint tube that I showed you, the cap will sometimes get stuck on there over time when the paint dries. And you've got to use tools like this channel lock to get the cap off, to even just get the cap loose, right? So that's a bonus for keeping your caps clean. Now, does it work all the time? No. Sometimes after I back the paint down into the tube, there's still a little bit of paint left on the rim of the paint tube, and the cap will still get stuck on there, even after I draw it back. And I have to use, maybe you guys got pliers, ways to get the cap off. Now I use a lot of different brands of acrylics. This is Golden. I'm not affiliated with them, but I do like I like their paints. And I discovered this tool to remove caps off of paint tubes. This is made by Golden. And I noticed that new paint tubes of Golden paints come with this improved cap design. This knurling here is much bigger versus the older style, which has this kind of a little finer teeth knurling on there. But this tool fits just perfectly with the Golden tube. I'm going to point it this way. So this top hole here fits just perfectly with this Golden new tube knurling there. And you just give it a twist and the cap comes off, or loosen the cap at least. And you could use this for the older Golden style with the finer teeth knurling on the second hole here, and it fits quite nicely, just like that. And you can give it a twist and the cap will loosen, right? On down the line, you've got a fourth or a third hole and fourth holes. They grow smaller in diameter. For example, I've got this Atelier interactive paint. I would use the third hole for this. And I could loosen the cap using the same tool. Again, the same thing if you got a cap that is stuck, perhaps your watercolors. All right, so that's my bonus. Another bonus I want to share really quick before I end here. With Atelier, if you use Atelier paints, those of you who don't have Atelier, well, that's it for the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. But if you want to stick around with Atelier paints, now I made a video about why I use acrylic paints, and I said in the video that one of the top reason why I use acrylic is that it doesn't mix or blend, and that's the look I'm after. That's why I like to use acrylics. But if you want to blend your paints, Atelier is the way to go, because the Atelier interactive paints, they're made just for that. It's slower drying. It blends a little bit better. Even, I would say, close to oil paints. Oil paints blend really well. But so the Atelier is the way to go. And also, if you ever use Ateliers, you open the cap. Sometimes this is a problem. I will put the paint out on the palette. Sometimes you get this liquid that's kind of clear on the palette, and you back it off and go, whoa, what's going on? But when you see that happening, I found that if you shake the tube like this, Atelier paints, it's very liquidy, and so you could just shake it up like so, and that gets rid of that problem. It mixes your paint pigments with your binder that's in there. It has separated sometimes if you leave it over time, and just give it a good shake, and that should solve your problem with Ateliers. So, all right. Hope you guys stay creative, and I hope you Continue to create masterpieces, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.